I mean, the fourth D is like they throw things at you and it rains in the theater and the seats shake and all that, right?
Yes.
I think the fourth D is D's nuts.
God, I hope that's true.
I was just gonna say
right?
it's really big boobs, but you know.
Or that.
That's
Yeah.
also possible.
No.
Hey everybody! Hey everybody! Welcome to
Truly.
another CineFix
1
Now
million.
Roundtable. Joining us this week is, you'll notice that when Truly gets drunk, he turns into a professor.
That either makes the most sense or none of the sense.
So, we got 1 million subscribers this week. Possibly, like, as we speak, we're getting our
1
millionth subscriber. Look, I don't keep track of these things. That's Cruz's job.
It was Jared Knucklehammer in Poughkeepsie, Illinois. Not Poughkeepsie, Poughkeepsie.
Poughkeepsie. Well, thanks for joining us, everybody. What are we sneaking up on? We're sneaking up on June. Guys, that's the halfway point of the year.
Sneaking up. This is how you sneak, by the way. You have to do the limp wrist
Right, exactly.
and like the hunched shoulder. But yeah, sneaking up on June.
Sneaking up on June, sneaking up on the halfway mark of 2015.
Yeah.
We're like halfway through
Breezing
2015.
by.
How did that happen? We've been talking a lot about it amongst ourselves in the office anyway, so we thought we might as well talk about it here. What are our favorite movies of 2015
Ex Machina.
so far? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
See, let's start with you.
I panicked. Sorry.
What's the top? Give us top five. If we can muster 5 good movies out of the first part of 2015.
I'm not sure if
what
I
are
can
yours?
muster 5. 3 solid movies for 2015 so far for me. And I'll go in the order they came out.
Please
the
do.
first was Kingsman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loved it. Went in there, honestly, with no expectations because I have to say their marketing was not strong.
No.
The billboards looked, I was just like, that looks cheap.
Yeah.
Like, it just looked like a really lame movie, but I
like-
went in there, was very pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
Well, it owned
So-
the cheap once
Yes.
you got in there.
It was
did
just
own
a
the cheap.
buttload of fun in the middle of February, and you
Yeah.
never get that anymore.
And
Yeah.
that scene in the church was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like you can't come out of that scene not enjoying yourself.
Yeah.
It's on iTunes now, and that reminds me. I think I'm gonna buy it tonight and watch it.
Totally. I mean,
Yeah.
that was a movie where as soon as I got out, I was just like, I can't wait to watch that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so exciting to have a movie like that that's like a super fun, high action movie and that is not a comic book movie.
And
Right.
that doesn't.
Well, it
oversell
was,
It's a
technically.
comic book movie.
Yeah, but it was
Oh,
being
yeah, I
made at
guess
the
it
same
is.
time as
They
the
graphic
fooled
novel.
you, T.
Yeah,
They
it's-
fooled you.
They tricked me again.
It's a
I keep
graphic
forgetting.
novel movie.
Yeah, I keep
graphic
forgetting that
novel
it
movie.
technically is, but like
Yeah.
I think in the terms of like the whole like Marvel superhero
Right.
world, like it's nice to have a break from that. So then following that, my next favorite movie. This is not in order of favorites; it's in order of release. Ex Machina, the first one
Sure.
I blurted out. Loved it.
Yeah.
Alexander Garland, who of course wrote 28 Days Later, he wrote the
Alexander.
book, The Beach, and the screenplay, which was not as good as the book. Really awesome because the singularity is basically the sum of all my fears. So to see it on screen done in a really cool and interesting way, it's almost like a lot of people are comparing it to Age of Ultron because it sort of deals like with the issue of robots gone wrong. But I think Ex Machina did it in such a cooler, more interesting way than Ultron did.
Oh, sure. It's the
Yes.
anti-Ultron.
Yeah.
Like they're But is that why you're so into the Terminator movies?
Yes.
Because they're just so
Some of all
scary?
my fears.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that why
Some
you're
of
so
all
into Some of
fears?
All Fears?
Because that's
Actually,
a different
I remember
movie.
that being a pretty decent movie, if I
No.
remember correctly. No?
Yeah, it wasn't.
Who's in that?
You are not.
That was
correct.
Affleck.
Oh, that can't be.
That was
it.
Affleck and Morgan. That was Affleck taking over for Harrison Ford as Jack Ryan.
Oh,
is what that
I
was.
thought that was something else. All right,
Yeah,
well, whatever.
Okay.
Anyway, and then
Ex
the third
Machina.
one would be Mad Max Fury
Mad
Road.
Max Fury Road.
Julie and I saw it. You were there too, but then you were too busy doing squats or something to review
Yeah,
it with
it's
us.
too busy getting my pump on.
Yeah,
Blasting
getting
pecs.
swole. But we all loved it. I mean, I didn't even feel well during that movie, and I
Yeah.
still enjoyed it thoroughly.
Yeah, I had to drive to Hollywood for that. I'm never in a good mood when I finish driving to Hollywood.
Yeah.
And I
It's
still
a
loved it.
Filthy, filthy place if you've never
Oh,
been.
terrifying.
Really disgusting.
It's also very inaccessible by road.
Yes.
which
So
is-
many homeless.
You have to get there by boat or by biplane.
Yes.
Did you guys see it in
Trash,
IMAX laser?
garbage everywhere.
We did not. We saw it on a regular
Needles.
screen, the way I prefer.
Hang on a second. I think Truly's working.
Yeah, something's
something out
happening over there.
Sorry, I thought we were listing what's wrong with Hollywood.
He's still
And
on
not
that.
the metaphorical Hollywood, the literal
Dog
Yeah.
gum on the streets.
Okay. So you can't. There's no 4 or 5.
I mean, off the top of my head, I can't think of one, but perhaps my illustrious colleagues can chime in and remind me of something else that was.
Does anybody? Can we all real quick agree on those 3 movies?
I feel
Does
there's-
everyone love
Yeah.
these?
Were
I feel
those-
the exact same way. Those 3 movies are my top, and I can't remember any others.
Yeah.
It's weird, right?
Right? Yeah.
And it sucks though, because when you're like, okay, we're halfway through the year and I only have 3 good movies, but it's like, actually that's kind of a lot.
Yeah.
Because
That's
most
an awful
movies
lot
yeah.
for
most
January
movies
through
aren't
May.
great, so I'm
Well,
actually
those
very
are all
optimistic.
those are all real standouts. Like
Yeah.
they're fresh, they're different. Than I mean, we've gotten a ton of Marvel movies, and not that the Marvel movies aren't currently good, but it's just like kind of more of the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in Age
Like,
of
is
Ultron.
anybody excited for Ant-Man?
People were.
Look,
and then
Paul Rudd is a delight in everything.
I
he is
do
in.
love
Yeah.
Paul Rudd, but I think the Marvel fatigue is like a real issue with me. It's just
Yeah.
like, God, another one.
You don't know Marvel fatigue. We sat through 27 and a half hours
There's
of
a-
Marvel, okay? That's
It's a-
probably why I can't
And that's
remember
the
anything
thing,
else.
is
It's
that
true.
Guardians still felt fresh, even in the midst of 27 and a half hours. Everything else was like, okay, that was a Marvel movie. That
Right.
was a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
That too was. I am reasonably well entertained to above average happy. But aside from
Yeah.
Guardians, Marvel movies
I
don't
love
take you
that.
by
That is an
surprise.
exceptionally specific scale you have.
I
really
have
good.
really crazy
Yeah.
scales.
But I mean, Age of Ultron was a little underwhelming too.
Yeah.
I think. I
It
think
wasn't
Furious.
proper bad.
No, it wasn't proper bad, but it was a little underwhelming. And Furious 7, I think, was also a little didn't quite live up to maybe what we wanted it to
It
be.
made as much money as they wanted.
Oh
it
yeah,
to.
totally.
The one before it was so good.
So I think that the
You're thinking of
Wait,
5.
5.
6
wait,
was not good. 5 was
wait.
good.
Oh, right. 'Cause
6
that
was not bad.
7.
6, they
Right.
shot a plane with a car.
Right.
Right.
Apparently, I have totally erased 6 from my memory.
The other thing that I'm running into is like the only other movies that I would add to the list haven't technically come out yet. Hello, My Name is Doris that I saw at South by is outstanding, and it doesn't have a release date yet, which is really upsetting. And then what was the other one? Oh, The Overnight. The Overnight is actually coming out here in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
That's with Adam Scott and Jason Schwartzman and Taylor Schilling,
Sold.
and it's real funny.
Oh yeah,
There's
you
a lot
were a
of
big
dicks.
fan of that.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of dicks in that movie.
Hey
It's
now.
hilarious.
Everyone knows I love dicks.
Did you also see the D Train?
No, I haven't yet. I
Is that
missed
also
that.
about dicks? Because it sounds like
Sounds
it's based
like
on the
it.
title.
I think it's about dicks.
It's at least about one.
Yeah.
The D Train.
It's a great name for a dick.
It's
Yeah.
a great name.
Maybe that's another option for the fourth D. That might be the fourth D.
The 4th D is a dick train.
The fourth D is a dick train. God damn it.
Let's move into the discussion
This
of
is
dirty
and
porn.
this is the round table that I have to edit too. It's the first one in a long time. The other thing that we didn't get a chance to talk about this week is the Supergirl trailer for the new Supergirl TV show. Anna, go ahead and explain that sad head shake.
There is no explaining the trailer or whatever that
wasn't
6
even a
minutes
trailer.
of
It
weirdness
It was an advertisement presentation.
Yeah.
So you
It
have to
was-
remember that. It was not targeted at people who will watch it. It's people
It's from
targeted
their
people who want to
upfronts.
buy ads in it.
It felt like it was targeted at 12-year-old girls.
It was guaranteeing advertisers that 12 to 25-year-old girls will be watching this. Please sell them
Yeah.
detergent in the commercial breaks.
I mean, part of the problem is that, I'm part of the audience that should be excited for this. And I watched that 6 minutes and was like, oh, God, I don't want to watch this. Like, I'm interested to see what the actual trailer they bring out is like, because I feel like that will actually be something Supergirl-esque. That, I don't know, like teenage girl, I don't know, but she's supposed to be like 30 or something, and
Yeah.
Right.
well, 20-something, I guess. 'cause
Whatever.
She's an assistant or whatever.
It was Devil Wears Prada, but Supergirl.
yeah.
Big time.
I mean, and regardless of what audience it was cut for, like there was like a 5 or 6 minute thing for the Flash that came out at the beginning of the Flash, and it still looked cool. So
Yeah.
like it looked like what the show ended up being, you know.
But I feel like most people's responses to the Flash presentation was, wow, those are really good effects for television.
Yeah.
Like, that was the number one takeaway. And the number one takeaway from the Supergirl trailer is, wow, that looks really chick TV,
Yeah.
Right.
chick flick, but for TV version.
Callista Flockhart went away, made herself unrecognizable,
Yeah.
and then came back.
Kind of
Big
like
time.
Portia de Rossi.
Sure.
Yeah.
Both
Same type of
both
thing.
of those people.
And they were on the same show together. So there you go.
I don't know what show that is.
Ellie
Ally
McNeil.
McBeal.
Oh, I do know that show.
It was interesting because I hadn't watched it yet, and a few of you guys were like, you will hate it the most. And I hate to say you guys were correct because I don't like being predictable.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, I really, it was just such a turn. It reminded me of like, instead of Devil Wears Prada, like Ugly Betty
Yeah.
Yeah.
with superpowers.
Ugly Betty was charming.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
I
she
never
didn't
watched
have
it.
superpowers, aside from being
I watched like
reasonably
one
organized.
episode of that show,
Her
and it
family.
reminded me very
Yeah.
much of this.
and inspiration and the ability to learn a lesson every single episode.
Talk about Ugly Betty.
Was that poncho not
So
a cape?
colorful.
Was Ugly Betty's poncho a cape? That is where we should have started.
Guadalajara.
Let's first talk about what defines a cape.
There was a second trailer that came out the next day that was immediately pulled that showed a lot more action though.
You're talking about Ugly Betty still, right?
No, I'm talking about Supergirl.
Oh.
Well, I mean, again, this isn't really a trailer just because it's 6 minutes long, but I don't really think that matters in terms of getting a vibe of what the show is going to be like, because the content in that trailer is the content from the show.
Yeah.
So if that sucks, the show will probably suck.
Maybe they just cut out everything cool.
There's
Yeah.
only, yeah. There's
We'll
only,
just sell him the shit and then surprise him with the good stuff because
Be
we're
like-
sneaky.
Everyone likes surprises.
That's how the upfronts sneak up on you.
Sneak up on you.
It's like, we're not even showing you the good stuff.
Save that juice.
Trust us. It gets better. That's how everybody cuts trailers.
Even want more.
Um,
A poncho is like a cape for both fronts. Like your front.
well, your
Both
front and your
fronts?
back.
back front.
That's only if you consider your back your second front.
Right. Which I think most
It
people
is.
do.
It could be a front.
Look, I kind of like the Supergirl presentation, but then I did watch something between 6 and 8 seasons of Grey's Anatomy. I'm not really sure
Oh, that's
which.
too many.
So, on the other hand, it did come off as, a little bit CW or something for.
Oh, is it
Like
It's
it's
weird
weird because
show.
it felt like late or it felt like early 2000s CW.
So
Yes.
much.
Yes.
Soup.
So much.
Yeah.
When like the CW has another show coming out, Legends of Tomorrow, that looked fantastic.
Yeah.
And so it was amazing that like Supergirl could look like such a relic already.
Well, and it's the same guy. It's Berlanti. Greg Berlanti's running all of those things.
Yeah.
Good for you.
So, he's doing fine.
One thing I
3
thought
out
was
of 4
super
ain't
weird
bad.
about that Supergirl piece was just how clearly they're like, Superman is gonna be in this like peripherally. Like he's not in it, but we'll like refer to him and stuff. And I just thought it was really bizarre and clumsy the way they handled it, where like that guy was like giving her a thing from Superman on that rooftop. It's just like, well, he's faster than a speeding bullet. He couldn't drop it off himself.
No, he's got like an assistant.
Like, they
He's
couldn't
busy.
figure out a better way to kind of work around the fact that they don't maybe have the rights to have Superman on the show or
The
whatever
one power
it is.
he doesn't have, scheduling.
Yeah.
Well, first off,
Probably not.
Not a terribly punctual
The one
superhero.
power he doesn't have, rights and clearances.
first off, I think that guy was Jimmy Olsen that was giving him the stuff.
I don't
Oh
know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Second
Made
off,
a big deal about that.
Oh yeah, they
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
That's right.
to me, the way they were talking about Superman, it felt like he was dead or something. Or
Yeah.
like I don't
Or
know,
like
away from
old
Earth.
and
or,
retired or something.
Yeah,
In which
but-
actually I would buy in way better if you were, because
Hung
then
up his
the
poncho.
world needs him.
He hung up
He's
his
in
half
Guadalajara,
poncho.
actually.
It's not a cape.
He
it's a
retired
half
down
of a
there.
poncho.
But yeah, there was an awful lot of Superman for a show about Supergirl.
Yeah,
You know?
like just weird
Without
references
Superman.
to him,
Isn't
which just
that-
it's reminding us that this is not his show.
Isn't that weird? Because like Supergirl is such a derivative of Superman already. Like there's so many other shows that DC could make that don't rely on the Superman mythos.
Yeah.
That's all I can string together. Right?
No. Look, I don't disagree with any of that. The
Good.
thing that bugs me about it is like, as an audience, everybody has been so trained to expect interconnected universes and these like
Yeah.
expanded, like this show, Arrow and Flash are in the same world, and all the Marvel stuff all in the same world, and then to do Supergirl and then deal with the fact that a Superman exists, but only in a weird tangential kind of way. In which case, like, is that like Man of Steel movies Superman? Is that another Superman in this
Right.
universe? Like, it's a weird question that if you decide you're going to bring it up, like, you better define the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
like people are going to expect Henry Cavill to
Right.
show up in Supergirl if you're not careful, you know. So
Unless
Yeah,
it's
at least
Chris
Tom
Reeves, in which
Welling.
case
They,
he
they
would never
probably
show.
should just bring in some guy to be Superman and be like, nope, not interconnected universing this one.
Yeah.
Except
Yeah.
then they're probably going to cross over with Flash and Arrow, and then they're
and then you have-
officially
No, but
not
movies,
interconnected.
the
universe.
movies, DC has made it pretty clear that the movies and the TV shows aren't going
Yeah.
to
They
deal
have.
with each other, particularly because they already cast another Barry Allen.
Yep.
Will they do a crossover? Like, do you think CBS and CW would be open to that?
They said that they might. They said that the universes might sort of be interconnected, but they've also been really vague about it. It's like they are, but they're not. But they are, but they're not.
They were on the cover of a magazine together last week.
Ooh.
For whatever that's worth.
Yeah.
I don't.
We're shooting in similar locations.
I doubt it's worth anything.
My 13 months of being a legal assistant does not
No.
equip me to answer.
our CineFix legal expert. What else happened this week?
I don't think anything's happened.
Nothing's
Slow
happened this
week.
week.
As we get into summer blockbuster season, however you want to define it, Cruz, I feel like some of those leaks and that information is like starting to dry up because those movies are coming out and everything else is so far into next year.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the season of set photo leaks, really, because everybody's shooting. They're starting to shoot next summer.
Next summer.
Yeah.
It goes award season, pilot season, leaked set photo season,
Right.
summer blockbuster season,
Award season.
award season.
Did you say award season first?
Well, fall TV premiere season.
right.
Award season.
Award season.
So that's the Hollywood schedule right there.
All right, everybody. Well, it is a holiday weekend, so that's going to do it for us. We're going to go continue to drink to celebrate 1 million subscribers.
We've got barbecues to get to.
Yes! Memorial Day barbecues. That's the ticket. So,
That wasn't even me.
listen. Listen, if you sifted anything out of this roundtable and you have thoughts about it, please put those in the comments below. Click like and subscribe. Come back next week for more CineFix Now that will be way better, I promise.
Let's all sneak away.
Everybody sneak back to work.
Oh, God.
Oh, I didn't get up.
What a bunch of...